All right, hey everybody, this is Mike Price, and I am the official host of Top Producer Series. And today I'm introducing a new guest, someone that I met recently, Liana Sogstad from Apex, North Carolina. Hey there, Liana, how you doing
Hi.
today? Good to meet you. So Liana is was introduced to me by a friend of mine, Mr. Eric Clark, one of my favorite commercial agents. And I've been getting to know Liana a little bit, and she's got a phenomenal story. She's got, and I'm gonna let her tell it, but the highlights are she's got a great professional background, but she's only been in real estate. What is it? 2 years already? Not quite 2 years.
Yep, a year and a half. Yep.
Year and a half, and is knocking the cover off the ball, folks. She's doing a lot of business, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. And so, Liana, thanks for coming on today. We really appreciate you.
Absolutely. It's my
Yeah, tell
pleasure.
us a little bit about you. Tell us a little about yourself.
Yeah. So I was born in Romania. Four siblings. We moved to the US in '89. We moved to California and basically moved to North Carolina 9 years ago, just about 9 years ago. And my background in California was in the property management. Had a few kids with my husband, moved here, had a few more. So we have a total of 4 kids. And I've been a stay-at-home mom since my kids were born. And one day I was like, you know what? I feel like my kids are at the age where they are all in school. It's just time for me to do something. Always had a love of real estate. I love the idea of every piece of property, every piece of soil is just so unique and so different. And that's what kind of got me in real estate. I signed up for my class and started full time last January. I got my license last August, 2 years ago, August, but didn't start actually practicing till last January. So I'm about
Wow.
a year and a
So
half in.
a year and a half in. So let's talk about when I was telling everybody, and I've told a few other people this week that we were going to interview. I was going to interview you. Let's talk about your production. So let's talk about numbers. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is someone before she says this. This is someone that's only been selling real estate full time. Only had her license for a year and a half. And so, so tell us about your production in the beginning and year to date and where you are, right now.
Yeah, so I started at a sweet little firm. I absolutely love my firm here in Cary. And my first year, I did 11 transactions. This year, I have closed 10. I have about 6 under contract, and I have 2 listings, one going live this Friday, one the next weekend, and then we'll do buy sell with them. So I'm projecting with all that I'm going to close and the agencies that I have signed, I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, 17, and hopefully just doubling that next year.
Wow. Okay. We were talking before we went live. We were talking about leverage and systems, which you can definitely double it next year at least, and probably not more. Um, so that's a lot of transactions. And folks, I was telling her before the call when we were talking and getting prepped. She said, "I don't think that I'm doing a lot." And I said, "Man, the average agent sells 4 houses a year, and I know a lot of agents that are in their third and fourth year that aren't doing near the business you're doing." So where are you finding all your business? That's what a lot of agents want to know. How do I find business? Like, where are you coming up with all of these transactions, all these listings and these buyers?
So I feel that open houses is just a gold mine for free leads. People just walk in on a Sunday and they have no agents. Most of the time they do, and sometimes they don't. And they're just walking leads, and they're free, and they just come to you. You just make really good connections, and you sometimes feel like it doesn't go anywhere, and then they'll call you back in 3 months and say, hey, remember me? I kept your card. That is so common, for at least for me, because I really feel I try to make really strong connections during these open houses and just leave an impression. So that is a huge aspect, is just open houses work wonders. They really do. And I think they're underrated. And then another one is I just word of mouth. They are a lot of just people, hey, I worked with her, referrals. And then realtor.com leads. There's some Zillow leads. There's just leads that you can just either purchase or get certain packages, and you make those connections. And then from there, you're just referred out, buy, sell. I mean, there's just a lot of ways to generate, leads. It's just a matter of putting one foot in front of the other and just not being afraid to just do it.
Now, these open houses, are these open houses on your listings? Are you holding open houses for other agents in your office?
Exactly. So I do both. So if, for example, I did an open house on one of my listings, I met a couple there. They did not want that house, but I got them under contract by that Thursday. Now I'm under contract with his sister, and I'll be listing their mom's house in about 6 months. So just from that one open house that was on my listing, it's just a row, 3 transactions after that, all in going to be probably in the next 12 months total. And another one is I see who has in my firm listings that are going live that weekend. I'm kind of methodical on which ones I actually do, because my time is very limited. So I want to make sure that it's in a good area, nothing crazy overpriced, something that's in that sweet spot for our area where we know that we're going to get a lot of traffic. And then I will do open houses for them. And then I have really good connections with builders. I have made some really good relationships, and I'll go to them and say, hey, you have brand new builds. Can I please do an open house on it? And when they kind of see you want to hustle and have a drive, they will always reach out to me. Hey, I have this great listing. It's going to get tons of traffic. Go there and work it all you want. So
Yeah.
It's making connections and just showing up wherever you need to show up, because if you show up, people will just come.
So you said limited amount of time. We all have, in the grand scheme, a limited amount of time. But you've got a family, married with 4 children, and even though they're in school right now, or in school, probably not right now, they're in summer, there's still a lot of responsibility. So you're doing this. You're not really giving it a 40 to 50, 60-hour work week like most realtors think you need to do. Is that right?
You definitely not. I feel like I have 4 kids from the ages 6 to 14, so I'm still in the really thick of it. They all still need me physically to just do things for them, especially my 6-year-old, and they really still need me emotionally. They need my eyes on them and not on my phone. They want to make sure that I am present when I'm there, and that's something I really had to learn when I got into real estate, because they were used to my attention being there 100%. I was a stay-at-home mom. I did nothing else but just love on them, raise them, teach them. And then all of a sudden, mom had a job. And the amazing thing is my husband is amazing. And he's like, if this is what you want to do, I'm going to back you up. And now we split up picking up kids, split up making food. I have to have that spouse that was actually allowing me to have the freedom that I have in order to maybe go show at 6 o'clock at night and then have open houses on Saturdays. But it's still a limited amount of time. I work 1 million hours in my head a week, but in practice, I don't work that much. Right. I work maybe, if I consolidate all the time, 20 hours a week, really, like 25 hours if I were to just really say, hey, I'm clocking in and I'm clocking out, maybe about that much. If I could work more, I could try, but I will be sacrificing something else, and I don't really want to sacrifice, too much time away from my kids.
Well, the kids are only going to be little for so long.
Exactly.
And real estate's not going anywhere. It's undefeated over time. It's still going to be around later down the road. But you're right. Looking at the phone, it's especially now in the age of technology. We've been there for a lot. We've been here for a while. Text is the main mode of communication with most sellers now, and most buyers. And it's constantly, like you're like me or like you, I'm getting text all day long, and it's distracting. And I have to put the phone down, and I have to be, okay, I'm in an appointment with my family, and I'm going to do that and be focused. But something you said, I want all the realtors out there to hear this. Ladies and gentlemen, she's selling this much real estate, working about 25 hours a week and managing 4 children and a household. and having a very supportive spouse is key. But there's a lot of people out there that make up a lot of reasons why they can't do it. And they're really, the only reasons are right here. Like you just have to you have to take action. You have to have a plan, and you have to be consistent with it. And one of the things you said, two of the things are very important. You're hosting your homes open. You're finding agents in the office that want open houses. We carry anywhere from 15 to 20 plus listings at a time on my team. And we are always looking for people to hold open houses. And it's hard to find agents that want to hold open houses. Now, the agents on our team do for sure, but it's just hard to find people to hold open houses. They don't understand that it's just a free place to meet people.
It's free leads. You don't have to spend $250 a lead or give up 50% of your revenue from that commission. There are just free leads walking in there,
So what does a day in a life look like on a normal real estate day? Say your kids are in school. What does it look like for Liana? What do you do when you get up? Well, how do you maneuver through your day?
Yeah, so I wake up. I don't talk to a single soul until I have coffee in my face, maybe 2 or 3 cups. That's just because that's just how I like to operate. Take the kids to school. Come home. I'll sit on my couch and just start pulling some of my old leads, writing little comments, sending articles about how amazing it is to live in North Carolina, just making those connections, constantly putting my name in front of them. I'm a huge gift giver. I like to spend gifts on my clients, so I'll send them. One of my clients bought a house with a pool. So this summer, which is a year later, I sent her a whole box with just floaties and just non-glass items, send it to her. And it's just these tiny little things that I just spend my time doing. I feel like at the beginning, I was just spinning my wheel so much, just constantly trying to work. And then when you learn how to time block and consolidate as much as you can in that 2 hours, and they kind of just not do as much the rest of the day. If you just sit there and do that thing for 2 hours every single day, it just really just generates communication. Your clients are writing you, oh, hey, Liana, good to see you. Good to hear from you. I actually just thought about you. My neighbor, was thinking about selling. I gave him your card. Just so it's just having that constant communication. Probably I do that maybe 2 hours a day, 1 hour sometimes. And then when you start getting people under contract, for example, this week, I have that listing going live, and then I have 2 inspections and 1 blue tape walkthrough. And then I have a listing, or I have a client that we're looking to build a brand new home for. So we're meeting with the builder at 2 o'clock today. So really, I kind of just spend my week showing up to inspections, trying to connect with old clients, and setting up myself for the weekend, seeing what I can do to get myself in front of people.
Well, one of the things you said, if anybody's writing this down or taking notes, consistency, doing that, blocking out that time every day, as many days in a row as you can do it, to do the things that matter. A lot of folks try to figure out that busy feels good, so they stay busy. But real estate's a contact sport. You have to connect with your database, your past clients, your current clients, and people in your sphere. And for new agents out there, I think a lot of them think that I don't have any money to buy leads. If you have a telephone and you've been around for 10 years, you have 100 people in that database that you could call, and you could get 3 or 4 deals out of that easily by just making the phone calls. 100%. Open houses are a great idea. Any kind of lead source that you can afford and pay for is also good. And I love what you said about you don't have to not paying 50% of the business. We have internet leads at Realtor.com and those things, and we look at that as an acquisition cost to acquire the client. Mm-hmm. But when you give them raving fan service and you put them in the system that they really enjoy, you make sure it's high communication, high touch, ask for referrals. You're going to get referrals from them, and you're going to work with them. And like you said earlier, you're going to work with their family members. You're going to work with their mom, their sister, and all that. And that's how you build a sustainable, profitable real estate business. And so there's really no reason why anybody can't do it. Don't you agree?
I feel like people may be afraid to step into something that they are just don't know how to maybe do properly, or maybe they feel like they won't be successful, or they're afraid to talk to people. I think that's a big thing too. People are like, well, I don't really know how to talk to people or how to convince somebody of something. But I feel like if you literally put one foot in front of the other and say, I really don't know what's it's gonna look like for me to maybe even knock on this person's door, or pick up my phone and called an expired lead or an expired MLS house. It's not being afraid, just doing it. And the moment you start having these conversations, like, things happen. Having just simple conversations with people, things move. And it may not happen right away. Real estate is one of those things where you have to work July to make an August, September, October paycheck. So if you're not doing something in July, you're not getting paid in August. So it's not immediate gratification. It takes time, but doing that all the time, you just notice that you're just making more money. And, before you know it, you get to have a little fun money too, because you're making enough. So it's just a matter of not being afraid, putting one foot in front of the other. And that is something that I really had to learn, because I was so afraid. How am I going to show this $1.3 million listing? That's a lot of money. I'm messing around with somebody's biggest investment, their biggest purchase. I don't know. I'm only 5 months into real estate, doing it, showing up with a smile on your face, knowing your facts before you show up, to show that you are educated, that you know what you're talking about, and people follow that. People like that. So anybody can do it. The work has to be put in. The work has to be put in, and you have to want it too. That's a big thing, because I want it, and I'm very competitive too.
I can tell. And it's not a get rich quick thing. It's like you just said, everything you're doing right now is going to show up and pay off 60, 90, 120 days from now. It's not a right now thing. And that's what people, they come in, they want to make a bunch of money. Real estate's easy. I see all my neighbors selling. All these realtors don't make much money. You have to be a student of the game. You have to constantly be learning, never ending. The main thing you said right there, write it down, folks. You got to show up. You got to get out of your comfort zone and knock on that door, make that phone call, meet with that person in your database, meet with that seller. Don't be attached to the outcome. Just do it. And you're going to either you're going to win or you're not going to win. And if you don't win, then you're going to learn a lesson. And then you use that for the next time. And you can't be afraid to fail. And you want to fail often, and you want to fail fast, so you can figure it out. So there's really no, there's no magic bullet. It's just consistency is really the only thing that you could say is the magic bullet, is being consistency, right?
100%. People want to be peopled. People are people. They want to be listened to. They want to feel like what they say matters. And I feel like a lot of agents just sit there and they talk and they show and they present everything, but just taking the time to listen to the clients and just keeping your mouth more closed, which is an art as well, and just listening more. I feel like that could make you get good deals, you get referrals, so it's really, really becoming an expert, really, like knowing everything about septics, knowing the most random things. Look them up, call the county. Knowing these tiny little things just really, really put you above the game. I talk to a lot of agents that have been in the industry for 5, 7, 10 years, and they're asking me questions about, well, how are you doing that? Well, I never heard of that before. And I'm like, how did you not? You've been in the industry for 10 years. Like, you have to be hungry for it. You just have to. Otherwise,
you have to want it.
Not
thirst for the knowledge.
Yes, you have to want it.
Yeah. That's it's amazing. A lot of folks don't really learn their craft, and one of the things I do, you just said it perfectly, is that people want to be heard and they want to be listened to. And when you go to an appointment, I go on a listing appointment. I go on a lot of them have I mean, the first thing I do is I walk in and hello, how you doing? And we just sit down and I tell me about you guys. Tell me about your situation. You know, how can I help you? And then let them talk and listen.
Exactly.
And they're going to tell you everything that you need to know. And you don't have to come up with you want to be prepped and have all your stats and everything ready, but you don't have to come out and just make this big presentation. You just listen and find out what it is they need and how you can solve their problem. And then, like you said, you're going to win the business, and you're going to become an agent who's highly referred from their clients. And I've gone on appointments and I didn't get the listing, and those people have referred me multiple people over the years. They just, hey, I'm not ready, but I like what you were saying, and you made me feel heard, and I'm going to refer you my friends and family. So you're on the right track, Liana. You are speaking like a 20-year pro who's been doing this for a long time, very successfully. And like I said in the beginning, I just wanted to bring you on here today because there's a lot of agents out here that need to hear what you just said. There's a lot of people that are on the fence. They may be stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home dad, just left their corporate job, whatever it is. Folks, if you focus and you get around the right folks and you do the right activities, you can do this. And you don't have to work 40 hours a week to make a living in real estate.
Nope.
Now, if you want to own a team, you're going to work 4 hours a week.
Yes, that's what you're going to do. I'm not going to do that. So
yeah.
I'm going to let you do that.
Yeah, I mean, the team's different, a little more moving parts. But you're doing great, and I really appreciate your time today. I appreciate you taking some time out. I know you're busy. Obviously, you got a lot going on. And thanks for sharing this. And there's a lot of people out here will benefit from what they've heard you say today. And I hope that people watch this over and over again. And Liana, let's do it again. Let's do this in a few months, maybe end of the year, and see where you ended up.
Let's do it.
I think you're going to probably exceed the numbers that you think you're going to do based on where you're at and what you're doing. So I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. And then we need to talk about next year as well.
That's true. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Price signing off. Liana, thank you so much for coming today. It's been a pleasure and a joy and an honor. Thank you for coming. And folks, we'll do another one. Hey, if you guys have anybody that you know that you would like to be interviewed, we would love to bring them on to the podcast and just, we love giving great information from great people to all you great people out there. So thank you so much. Have a great day. Liana, talk to you very soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.